Hi everyone, welcome to Sarthi Education. So if you guys can hear me, just type the smiley and send it to me in chat. Also, yes, if you can hear me, uh, send us an email at contact@sarthieducation.com. I'll list the email in the chat right now and we'll resend you everything we have sent. I think we should begin now. So, as I said, welcome to Sarthi Education. We will be having 17 online sessions for NTSE. 4 live offline sessions in Bullenshahr for NTSE again. So we'll be conducting these sessions on Sunday in a neutral location, basically outside your school. So we'll finalize the location and send you the information about it. Also, you'll be provided teaching by identities. My name is Anmol Jain, by the way, and I will be taking your mental ability and mathematics class. Also, we'll be giving you expert mentoring by IIT faculty. Okay. By the way, if anyone has any problem receiving anything from us on email or SMS, send us an email at contact@sarthieeducation.com and we'll re-add you to our contact list. Send us an email to this email address. I have also listed this in the chat, and we can resend you all the stuff we are sending. So, as you guys know, the focus of these sessions will solely be NTSE preparation, which is the exam you have all filled for, and it will be conducted in your school on 5 November. That is the first Sunday of November. The stage one, this exam is conducted in 2 stages basically. The first stage is conducted by your state. That is for us, that will be Uttar Pradesh. So Uttar Pradesh education body will be conducting a stage 1 exam, and people who qualify in stage 1 will be can appear for stage 2 exam, which is a national level exam conducted by NCERT itself. In stage 1, there is a state quota of how many students can be selected, but the qualifying marks are 40% in each paper. So even if you clear the cutoff, but you have less than 40% in any of the papers, you will not be able to qualify. Generally, the cutoff, average cutoff nationally has been around 85, but for UP, this cutoff went last year as 107 out of 150. So the test is conducted in two parts: a mental ability test, which is a 50 marks, 50 question test of 45 minutes. This is one of the most scoring parts of the test, and hence the time is given less. The second part is Scholastic Test, or what you may have heard from your seniors or internet as SAT. There are 50 questions of language in this, of 50 marks, and 100 questions of aptitude of 100 marks. Both have total of 135 minutes, that is 2 hours 50 minutes. The total test is of 3 hours. The language part of the test does not contribute to the cutoff. You are only required to qualify at 40% for this test. That is, you need 20 marks of this test. If you can get 20 or above, you are golden. If you have anything less, you cannot qualify. But the exact nature of marks does not matter for the cutoff. This aptitude test has everything from science to social science to GK in it, and the combination of aptitude test and mental ability test that gives 150 marks is the only thing used for cutoff. That is why I have written here that the cutoff for UP was 107 out of 150. The stage 2 is conducted in 3 parts, and although the scoring and marking is same, but since it is a national level exam, the difficulty is obviously higher. And also, I guess we'll get to this when the stage comes. So, do you have any doubts regarding this? So, if no one has doubts, let's move ahead. Guys, don't worry, this class is being automatically recorded by YouTube and by us as well. So as soon as the live session goes offline, as soon as our session for today is over, this video will go live as a recorded video on YouTube. Okay, so that link will be shared with you. Tell your friends and yourself as well to send us a sample email. Just write something, your name in it, and we'll add you to the mailing list so that we make sure that from tomorrow you don't have any problem like this. Let's add one thing to it. So what will be the schedule for these sessions? So these sessions will be done in weekdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We will be sending you worksheets along with them to work with, like we had sent you yesterday. It's okay if you have not received it, but from tomorrow we will be sending you worksheets, concept sheets beforehand, so that if you study those, these sessions will make a lot more sense for you. You will be able to get more juice out of this, and the results will overall be better. Also, every Saturday we will conduct a 3-hour NTSE pattern test. Okay. Also, on Sunday we will have live discussion sessions. These will be the offline sessions and will be conducted in your city, Brinshire. Okay. So today we have our session on mental ability. There are 20 topics on mental ability that are relevant to us. They are listed on your screen: alphabet and number test, verbal and non-verbal analogy, blood relations, calendar, clock and time, classification. So let's see in short what each topic entails. So in alphabet and number test, you will have some relations and you will have to decode those. Although decoding and coding is similar, but coding and decoding is like if it is given to you that some words is 7912 and you have to find out the same code for another word. That type of questions are coding and decoding. For analogy, it's like this, that if let's say alpha is equal to 21, then what does beta means? This is just a sample question, this is not a real question, so let's not try to solve it. But this is how analogy works. So it can be verbal, it can be non-verbal. Verbal means it will have some concept of English language to be used. Non-verbal means it will have a concept of mathematics or logical concept to be used. Okay. In blood relations, the questions are like, let's say A is something of something, like mother of father's brother of this, of that, of B, and what is the relation between A to B? You guys must have seen this type of questions. This comes in blood relations. In the calendar, clock and time questions, there are two types of questions mainly. So first type of question is that if this date means this day in this year. So let's say today is 10 and a Tuesday, right? So if I ask what day will be 10/10/2022. So this type of questions are one type. The other type is questions of clock and time. So you will have to use the value of clock hand. So for example, if I ask you that at 9:21 this happens and at 9:30 this happens, when will these things happen again at the same time? The questions which include the concept of dates, days, clock, time. The concept of clock means how the hour hand, second hand, minute hand works, how they rotate, how much they rotate in a given time. These type of concepts are covered in this section. Coding, decoding, as I told you earlier, that coding, decoding is a simple part. Human type questions are, so if I give you a face of cube, two faces of cube, and I ask you where the third face will be, or how the third face will be, or let's say how two numbers will be related in a cube. That kind of questions come in human types. Direction questions are, so let's say I tell you that a guy goes from this point to this, this, and I ask you that what is the direction, what is the distance he has to cover, or let's say even this is there, what is the direction, what is the distance he has to cover, and so questions like that. These type of questions come in the category of direction questions. Embedded figure are figure questions. Figure questions are basically two types, embedded figure and figure partition. So partition and dot situation is that you have to think how dots are arranged and then you have to find the series. In embedded figures there are more than one figure in a figure and you have to find that pattern. In mathematical operations, questions are that let's say minus is equal to multiply, divide is equal to plus, plus is equal to minus, and multiply is equal to divide. And I write some operation and I ask you that what does this mean? You have to do this. These type of questions are mathematical operations questions. Missing character questions are of series questions. So for example, I ask you 2, 3, 9, 6, 7, question mark, 8, 10. Find the question mark in this series. Again, this is a sample question. Do not try to solve it. This does not mean anything. But this is how missing character or series question works. Paper folding and cutting means that you have to assume how a paper is being cut and how it is being arranged, and you have to visualize that and work on that. Series, again series questions as I mentioned. Venn diagram, so there are, if you guys know what Venn diagrams are, otherwise we will cover that too. So if I say that B happens in this circle, A happens in this, and when the common things happen, this is C. Right, this is C. So I ask you a question based on this information, this figure, the information this figure represents, that is Venn diagram question. Images question, water images question is basically mirror question. So I'll tell you that I have a figure and I want you to find out the mirror image of that kind of questions, and word problems are simple word problems. Is there any doubt in any section? If you have any doubt in any section, do tell us now. Although we can obviously look at it later, but it will be good if you can share your doubts on the spot in our chat. That is why we are using a two-way communication platform. Any doubts? Anything? Guys, use this chat to respond to us, whether yes, no, or anything. It helps us know what you are thinking, what you guys are doing, and it will also help us give you better response. Okay, let's move forward. Today we are not going to, do any specific type of questions like a syllabus. Since you guys have not received the practice sheet we had sent you, We are going to try a few questions ourselves and see if you guys think you can solve it, if you guys know how to solve it, and if you don't, that is not a problem. This is just beginning. We can guarantee you by the end of this sessions, by the end of our total sessions near NTSE exam, you will be able to solve these questions very easily. So we are going to try this question. I'll give you guys 1 minute, and if you guys cannot solve it, don't worry. It's not a problem. We are going to solve it right here, right now. So आप लोगों ने ट्राई करा ये क्वेश्चन? मैंने आपको 5 मिनट का टाइम दिया. That is more than enough for this question. This question is, if you go for the exam question, this is ideally a 30-second question. The answer is 10 years. Let's see how. Let's say Ram's current age is X. Shyam's current age is Y. So it says Ram is 5 times as old as Shyam. That means if we multiply 5 to the age of Shyam, we get Ram's age. So we can write it as X is equal to 5y. Now it is said that the difference in their age is 8 years. Now since Ram is older than Shyam, the age difference will be X minus Y is equal to 8. So what I can say is X is equal to Y plus 8. By this, if we substitute this here, we get Y plus 8 is equal to 5. If we take Y to this side, we get 8 is equal to 5y minus Y is equal to 4y. Therefore, if 4y is equal to 8, y is equal to 8 by 4 is equal to 2. Now we have got a value of y, but we need to find out the value of age of Ram. So Ram's age is X. We can put the value of y either in this equation or in this equation directly. In either case, the value will be X is equal to 10. Hence, Ram's age is 10 years. Ram's age is 10 years. Any doubt? Guys, if you have doubt, use the chat. It is there for you to ask your doubts. Okay? If you don't have doubt, I'm going to give you a minute to note it down. Okay? So let's move forward. We'll try another question. And I'll give you exactly a minute for this. Let's not extend time more than we have to. So as it has already been 2 minutes and this is a pretty simple question, so let's not extend time more than we have to. So it is said that there are two excessive discounts of 20% and 25% equivalent to what amount of a single discount? Okay, so first thing first, did you guys notice something wrong with this question? A option's value is 40%. So if either of you were thinking of the answer as 40%, you have the option now. But let's solve it. Let's say the original marked price is 100 rupees. So I'm hoping you guys all have studied percentages in class 8. But if you have not, let's see what it means. So if or mark price is the MRP you guys see in a store. Mark price is the price on the tag. You get discounts on this. So if the mark price is 100 rupees, after first discount, price will be 100 minus. So a discount of 20. What does a discount of 20% means? That MP minus discount into MP divided by 100. Right? That is what a discount means. So if we put in values of for the first discount, we get 20 into 100, 100, which is equal to 80 rupees. So after the first discount, our price value is 80 rupees. Similarly, after second discount, we get, now for the second discount, the reason why this question can baffle you or confuse you is because there are successive discounts. So that means those discounts, the original marked price for these discounts or the calculation of these discounts is different. For the first discount, we saw that the marked price, the value on which we can calculate the discount is 100. For this, the value will be 80. The value that came after the first discount will be the marked price for the second discount. So for this calculation, our discount is 25. So what do we get here? 60. Now if we have to calculate the value of the total discount, what we do? We first calculate the difference between the original mark price and the actual selling price. So the actual selling price is the price the customer is actually paying to the seller. For our case, actual selling price is 60, which we received from here, right? Our marked price was 100, as we have assumed in the beginning. So what is our discount? That is 100 minus 60, which is MP minus actual selling price, right? I hope there are no doubts, but if there are, use the chat. It is there for that purpose only. So what is discount percentage? It is discount upon mark price into 100, right? That is pretty easy. So 40 upon 100 into 100 is equal to 40%. Hence, our net discount, the discount equivalent to the successive discounts of 20 and 25% as asked by us, is equal to 40%. We are not adding 20 and 25 similarly in a similar way like we do. We must be thinking to do, we must be planning to do, because why? 20 plus 25 gives 45. So the first thing that comes to mind is the answer is 45, since there are two discounts. But the point is, the problem with that is, for each discount, the mark price on which discount is calculated is different. So for the first discount, the mark price is 100. But for the second discount, the sale price that comes after the first discount, that is 80, will be used as our mark price like we have done here. And actual sale price will be the value of the sale price we get after the second discount, which is 60. Is that clear? Any doubts with this? Let's see this again, since there are some doubts. So for this question, we had to find out what will be the amount of a single discount which will be equivalent to two successive discounts of 20% and 25%. What this situation means is like 20% plus 25%. You must have seen it somewhere a lot of times in the marketing in stores. So for this calculation, let's assume we are assuming that our original mark price was 100 rupees. Why 100? Again, it's easy calculation. So after the first discount, for the first discount, the price, the sale price will be mark price minus discount into mark price upon 100. So for the first discount, the discount was 20%. So the mark price is 100 rupees as we have just assumed. Right? So putting the value in this formula right here, we get 100 minus 20 into 100 upon 100, which is equal to 80 rupees. So for the second discount, our mark price is not 100 rupees. It's 80 rupees. We have already, the successive discounts mean that the discount is not being applied to the same mark price. The second discount is being applied to the sale price of the first discount. So for the first discount, what was our final price? It was 80 rupees. So for the second discount, our mark price is 80 rupees. Hence, for the second discount, our calculation will be 80 minus discount into 80 upon 100 as written here. Right? 80 minus, so for the, what is the second discount? As we know from the question. And the second discount is 25%. So the calculation will be 80 minus 25 into 80 upon 100 and 60. So after the second discount, this is the price our seller is being paid by the customer. The seller is being paid 60 rupees by the customer. So if the mark price was 100 and the seller received 60 rupees, the discount is mark price minus 100 actual sale price, which is this, right? This is the formula for discount. So our discount is 100 minus 60 is equal to 40. Now discount percentage. Let's see what discount percentage is. Let me write the formula for that as well. So discount percentage is discount into 100 upon mark price. Our discount was 40 rupees. Our mark price was 100 rupees as we assumed. So our discount is 40 upon 100 into 100, and this 100 is cut. The discount percentage is 40%. Is it clear now? Let's move on to the next question. I'll again give you 1 to 2 minutes for this. Let's try it out. By the way, guys, I hear some of you have been having some problem. Have been having some problem with the chat function. So I will share a screenshot uh, with you about how the chat works. Okay, don't worry. So this is how your window might be looking. Don't worry if you have the white color theme. I have the black one, so that is not a problem. So if this is how it's looking, this is how the chat will work. If you type it here, I can reply on it. This is where the chat is. If for some reason you have it on theater mode, which is an option in the YouTube page, right? If you have it on theater mode, the chat will be down here. Yeah, this is the live chat. So if you scroll down, you type on it, we can see what you are typing and we can reply on it. And if it's a question, if it's a doubt, I can solve it right away. Okay, now let's get into this question. I'll give you 1 more minute since we had to do this exercise. It's good that you guys are using chat. Thanks. So let's try this question. So what this question says is Mohan spent 25% of his monthly earning on magazines. So let's say if he had 100 rupees, he spent 25 on his magazines. Out of the banana amount, he spent 75% on the hostel and college fees. The banana amount, I guess this word might be a little bit confusing to you guys since you have heard it for the first time. The banana amount is the remaining amount. So after 100 rupees he earned and he spent 25 on the magazine, he had remaining 75 rupees. Out of those 75% was used on hostel and college fee. Right? I guess you now understand what the banana amount is. If he had rupees 120 at the end of the month, find how much money he has received from his father in that month. What this means is after spending 25% on magazines, and spending remaining 75% of the remaining amount on hostel and college fees, he had 120 at the end of the month. So let's solve this question. Let's say Mohan received X from X rupees from his parents, right? If he received X rupees, his magazine spend is 25% of X. What this means is 25 upon 100 into X, which is X by 4. So the remaining amount is total amount minus maximum spend, which will be equal to X minus X by 4, which is 4X minus X by 4. We took LCM, obviously. So the remaining amount is 3X by 4. Right? This 3x by 4 amount, this remaining amount is known as banana amount. So it is said that 75% of this banana amount is being spent on hostel and college fees. What this means is that hostel and college fees is 75% of 3x by 4. Clear? Which is equal to 75 upon 100 into 3x by 4. Clear? So what this means is this is equal to 9 by 16x. So till now, what was our total spend? Magazine amount plus hostel and college fees amount. Again, taking LCM, we get 4x plus 9x on 16 is equal to 13x upon 16. So the remaining amount he has is x minus total spend is equal to x minus 13x upon 16, which is again by taking LCM 16x minus 13x upon 16 is equal to 3x upon 16. Now, it's clear till now? Any doubt? No? Let's move forward. So now, it is given that at the end of the month, 120 is the amount he has left. Now we saw that by the end of the month he has 3x by 16. So what this means is this amount is equal to 120 rupees. Therefore, x by 16 is equal to 120. X is equal to 120 into 16. We took 16 here and 3 down here. So this is 120 plus 6 into 16 divided by 3. So this is 40, 60, 400. 647. My mistake. So 40 into 60. So the total amount he received from his father in the starting of the month is 640. Hence C option. Is there any doubt? I'll give you guys 1 minute and then we'll move on to the next set of questions. By the way, guys, if you have any suggestions for the class, if you think there is something we can improve, if you think there are some ways we can help you resolve your doubts better, do tell us in the chat, do tell us by email or SMS, and we'll get that done. Okay? By the way, guys, these all questions are from the sheet we had sent you. If you have not received it, that's okay. Just as I said, just send us an email or contact us at sarthieducation.com and we'll send you back with this content. Or send us an SMS in the number mentioned in the chat from your mobile number. We'll send you SMS notifications as well as email from that. Okay, let's try one more question. Let's try this question for a minute and we'll see what we can do about it. So I guess you guys all have tried this question once. By the way, guys, don't worry. I know this session is not as structured as you might have liked, but this is our first session, and we know all of you have not received this information, which is this, which is the cause of this. So don't worry. We'll be getting you a better structured sessions from tomorrow, as you will all receive the required documents and required notifications. Again, I'm saying, if you have not received the notification today, send us an SMS on the number mentioned in the chat or email mentioned in the description of the video, and we'll get you back. We'll get back to you with the right notification at the right time. Okay, so let's try this question. So what this says is, some students are divided into two groups, A and B. If 10 students are sent from A to B, the number in each is same. So what this means is that there are two groups, A and B. So if I send 10 students from here, becomes equal to B. Also, if I send 20 students from B to A, the number in A becomes double that of B. So we have to find out the number of students in each group. So there are two ways to do this question, right? First way is by looking at the options and trying out options in these scenarios. So if we do by that method, we can directly find out that the answer is 180. How? If 10 students are removed from 100, we get 90 students left, and 10 students are added to 80, we get 90 students now in B. So this is equal. If I do the reverse calculation and I send 20 students from B to A, so the remaining students in B is 60, and that in A is 120, and hence the answer. But this is a way which may or may not work in exam, and you may or may not be able to think of in exam. So let's try the legitimate way in a way. I'm not saying that that way is not valid, that way is illegitimate, but let's try the way that will always work, that will always be with you, because the logic is sound. Logic is concrete, logic is the fact here. So let's say students in A are X, students in B are Y. So for the first session, we get A students, 10 students are going from A to B, which means in terms of equation is that X minus 10 is equal to Y minus 10, right? Y plus 10, I'm looking at minus 10. So 10 students have left from X and reached in Y. So Y minus 10 is equal to X minus 10 is equal to Y plus 10. For the second situation, it is said that 20 students move from B to A. So we have X plus 20 students in A, which is equal to twice of the students remaining in B. So if we solve the first equation, we get X minus Y is equal to 20, which is our first equation. If we simplify the second equation, we get, which is X minus 2Y is equal to minus 60, which is our second equation. Okay, we know how to solve two equations. We are going to solve this by substitution method. How? 1 minus 2. So X minus Y is equal to 20 minus X minus 2Y minus 60. So if we solve this, we get x minus y minus of minus 2y is equal to 20 minus 60. X and x are cut. Minus y plus 2y, since minus into minus is plus, 20 plus 60, since minus into minus again is plus. This means y is equal to 80. Since y is equal to 80, we can put this value either in this equation or in this equation to get the value of x. So when we solve for x, we get the value of x to be x is equal to 100. So this means that we have 100 students in class A, in section A, and 80 students in section B, in group B. So we get the answer 100 into 8. Now although in this question the first way, the shortcut way might seem lucrative to you, and it is. It definitely is if you can spot it. The biggest if is if you can spot it. But if you cannot spot it, this is the way this will work. It will always work. Do you guys have any doubts? If you have any doubts, do share with us in the chat, and then we'll move on to the next question. Are there any doubts? I'm guessing there are no doubts. So let's move on to another question, which will be also the last question of today. I'll again give you guys 1 minute to solve it out, and then we'll discuss it. So it'll be a quick question. This is a series type of question to discuss. This is a non-verbal series, and let's see. So I hope you have attempted this question. The answer is B option, 512. Let's see how. So the series is 49, 343, 64, 81, 729. So in the question of series, we have to find out and implement patterns. Patterns between consecutive numbers in the series of numbers we have in front of us. Right? So let's see. What is 49? 49 is a composite number. Its factor are 1, 49, 7. It is also a square of 7. Those are the two main things we know about it. Let's see 343. 343 is 1, 343 and 7, and it is a 7 cube. Let's say 64. Now 64 has many factors as we all know, but its major factor, prime factor. In this question, by the way, we consider only prime factors. So its major factor is 2. I can write it as 2 to the power 6 or 4 to the power cube or 8 to the square. I don't know about this number obviously. 81 is 1, 3, 81. It can be written as 3 to the power 4 or 9 square. 729 major factor is 3, major prime factor. It can be written as 3 to the power 8 or 9 to the power 3 to the power 6. I mistake, 3 to the power 6 or 9 cube. If you think about it, you will see the pattern. 49 is the square of 7, where 343 is the cube of 7. Here, in 81, it is the square of 9, 729 is the cube of 9. So by this logic, if 64 is the square of 8, this number should be cube of 8. So as we know, 64 is square of 8. So this means this number is equal to 8 cube, which is equal to 512. Yeah. Are there any doubts? I'll give you a minute to note this down. Are there any doubts? So guys, as I have told you before, send us an email at contactus@sarthieducation.com with any feedback you have, with any improvements you would like, and also send us an email if you think you have not received the notification before, so that you can receive the notification or any other information for tomorrow and other classes. Secondly, you can send us an SMS at the number I have just mentioned in the chat with your, and send us from the number you would like to receive SMS notifications on. Again, this will help us in notifying you in the right manner. Thirdly, I'll be repeating the schedule again. We will be having continuous classes each day, each weekday, 7 to 9 p.m. and a 3-hour session, 3-hour test, NTSE pattern test, exactly how the NTSE is, on every Saturday. And we will have live discussion sessions on Sunday. Your exam is on last Sunday, so and that test and discussion both will be done on the Saturday before. But this will be a regular schedule. Also, 18 and 19, these will be holidays for Diwali from our side. Obviously, if you are busy, I would like to repeat that since this is not a sprint, this is not a one-day job, this is a regular thing with a regular study you have to do. I would like to advise you not to miss any of our sessions for any reason. But if you do miss for some reason, all of these sessions will be recorded and we will put on YouTube at the time we end these sessions. This will be our schedule. So send this message, spread this message in your classmates from your respective schools. Okay. If you have any problem, do leave us a comment and send us a feedback. Okay. So from the Sarthi team, on behalf of Sarthi team, I would like to thank you all very much in joining today. In joining with us today on our first live session, and would like to thank you for your patience since we did have some problems today. You can share your feedback with us at contactus@sarthi.com. Also, you should hit the like button. This will help us know that you like the video, like our concept, and we will keep on working to improve it. You can drop your comment with your feedback. You can share your feedback with us at contactus@sarthieeducation.com. You can also send your emails, email IDs and phone number updated so that we can send you notifications, as I said this before. And we would love to share this video. We would love for you to share this video with your classmates, with your batchmates who you think can benefit from this. Thank you all so very much to joining us today, and hope to see you all tomorrow 7 p.m. sharp here only for our math session. We will, again I am repeating, we will have regular sessions on weekdays at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can note this down. We will also give this to you on your emails. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. All the best.